Hello and welcome. My name is Merely Adequate, and you're here for a piston tape super smelter tutorial. A list of all the items needed will be in the description below, and at the end of the video, I'll have an alternative for the collection system that I can show you. Let's get going. Let me first show you how it's used. In the first chest here, you can put the items that are being smelted. You'll see that it does not filter down because it is locked. Then on this side, you will put the items that you'll use to fuel your super smelter. With this configuration of collection, you cannot use lava buckets. I can show you later in the video how to use lava. The other collection system that you have, which is more resource heavy, will let you be able to use lava buckets, but not this one. And then you turn it on, and off it goes. It starts spinning round and round, putting fuel here after it's put in the items for it to be smelted. As it gets to 4 different locations, this is the earliest it's done, and so it starts dropping them off immediately. And then by the time it gets to this next chest, it's done with another smelt. And so this is pretty much the most efficient way. As soon as it's done smelting, it's dropping it off into a chest and ready to go with another one. And at any point in time, you can turn it off and it'll stop. I usually wait until my smelt is done, but it doesn't really hurt to turn it off. It's just you won't get any of those items until you spin it back around again. And that's how it works. Are you ready to see how to build it? Let's go. There are several ways you can tackle this. What I like to do is build an 11 by 11 furnace square, 1 block high off the ground. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then, you can really turn these any direction you want, but I make sure and do it so that they're always, as they spin around, they're always gonna be facing this direction. So let me go ahead and fill in the other 3 sides of the square. If you were counting along with me a second ago, I actually put 12 in the first row. It should just have been 11. So there we are, an 11 by 11 square. Then what we need to do is actually make some gaps. So I remove here, here, and there. Obviously, when you're building your square, you can just leave those blank to begin with, but I find if I start with my 11, 11 and then remove them, it helps make things a little bit smoother. The next thing we're going to do is put in the piston mechanisms. So you're going to leave a gap here. This is not where you're going to want to block. You want to put a block here and leave a gap. So you can do 1, 2, and 3, just like that. You're going to want to put your observer facing this direction with dust, repeater, dust, and then a piston coming back this direction. Just like that. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides, but obviously there's like a gap missing here, so we're going to want to account for that. So we put 1, 2, and 3 over this way, so we can put our observer in there, dust, repeater, dust, and we come around and put the piston in here. See? Just like that. I'll do that on the other 2 sides. Now that all of them are in, you're just going to want to double check that your pistons are going to be pushing the right direction. I actually did it wrong a second ago, off camera. So you want to make sure that it's going to push this direction, this piston's pushing this direction, this piston's pushing this direction, and this piston is pushing this direction. I accidentally off camera set up my piston on this side, which obviously would have been completely wrong. Okay, now that these are in, let's do the collection system. We're going to want to start the collection area 6 spaces over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be where we put the hopper, but let's put down the chest on this side. Great. And then we'll put down the hopper here. The next thing you need to know is that the furnaces will move 10 spaces before they finish a smelt. So every 10 moves, there'll be a new smelt. So if this is where it gets dropped off here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this will be where we place the hopper below here. So put down chests, hop on the other side, and there you go. You notice I'm in creative, so I'm just flying over, but you may want to put down some kind of solid block here just so that you can hop in and out of this contraption. Okay, that's the second one. We're going to place the third. I'm going to do it with you, even though it seems obvious, but I don't want you to miss something. 1, 2, 3, 4. You do count this space. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is going to be where the hopper will be. So we put down chests, come on the other side, and put the hopper. And then the last one, same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put down the chests and the hopper. And that is the collection system that I use. Now I'm going to show you a way to make the collection system so that everything flows to a single location, but that requires a lot more iron. And also, it doesn't really improve a whole lot other than you have to walk around and look in the 4 different chests. So I'm going to show you this one first because I think it's the simplest and the cheapest, and it's one that I personally use myself. But afterwards, when we're all done here, I'll show you what configuration to put the hoppers in so that you can have everything collect into one chest. Okay, now we'll put the 2 chests that will allow you to fill up everything. And you're going to want to not get these confused. Okay, on the left side here, we're going to want to put in a hopper on the top. And then on the right side, you're going to want a hopper to come into the back and then go up one. Okay, you see what we have going there? You don't want to confuse those, or your material will make an entire circle around before it starts getting fuel and smelting. You want the items to come in here and then arrive here to receive fuel. Okay? Now we're going to put a couple chests up on top just so that you can reach everything. There, and there, there, and there, and there we go. And then we'll label it just like we did over there. This is the smelting items, and this is your fuel. Finally, the starting and stopping mechanism and the hopper locking kind of all goes together. So we're going to do something a little bit weird here. I am going to remove this dust from behind that observer right there, just temporarily. And then I'm going to break this block in the ground and place a sticky piston down in it. Okay? Then we'll put a lever here. Then we're going to push up and down. I removed the dust so that it wouldn't start the mechanism flowing whenever I just did that. So now you can put the dust back. So when you do the lever, this will pop up and it'll start everything running. Now we're going to hop over and we're going to break these 2 blocks right here on the other side of the lever, okay? And then we'll put a redstone torch right there with a dust and a dust, okay? And then one more and one more, so that we're able to put a block right here beneath this chest. Okay? We'll put a torch on that. We'll put a block on top of that torch. And then we'll come around and put a torch right there. That torch is locking both of these hoppers so that the material doesn't flow down. All right? And then when we do that lever, the observer will move up and start everything going around. And this will turn off so that it will turn off the locking and everything will start running. And that is it. Just like before, if we put in the raw material here, we put in the fuel here, then we turn on the lever, everything will run. The one thing I want to tell you real quick, the reason why I have the repeater in line here is if your server is particularly laggy, you may want to move this back one on all. Let me turn it off and show you. We can move it back one, but you do it for all of them. If you move it back one, maybe even 2 if you have really bad lag problems, that just delays everything and keeps it from getting messed up. See, it just runs a little bit slower, but it still works just fine, and that's a way to compete lag on a server. Okay, that's pretty easy and pretty quick. That's why I like using this one. It's pretty simple to build, and I actually like doing this over dealing with tracks and rails. So let me show you what to do for a collection system if you know, you don't want to have the 4 different chests. Also, if you're looking to use lava buckets, you're going to want more, you know, collection beneath all the different furnaces so that the buckets will fall out better. Okay? So this right here, we're going to consider our ending point. And this right here will be our starting point, as nothing that starts will finish during this movement from here to here. There's no real reason to put down hoppers in this corner. Also, it gets a little bit messy around, you know, your redstone here. So what you're looking to do, let's hop inside. You just want hoppers to snake all the way around. Oh, I gotta get outside. All the way around until we get to that starting, or sorry, starting till we get over to that one right there. It will mean, obviously, that you're going to want to break that, because it's going into the chest, and have it flow around. Okay, and there we go. With the little resource pack I have on, you can see that the hoppers are all lined up and just going all the way around until they finish on this initial chest that we have out here out front. And that's a little modification. I mean, it requires a lot of hoppers, and so you may not have that much iron if you're building this device. But if you do, that's probably a good alternative, so everything will just flow into here. Okay, that's pretty much it. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you found it adequate.